Good morning, sir, and good morning, guys. I'm Christian C. Flores, and this is my partner, Francis. And today, let's start the video.
So now let's we tackle the Comileak of 2016, the largest data breach in the Philippine history. So now let's we start with the background of what happened on the Comileak data breach. So next slide. So crime classification. So Comileak data breach is started on March 27, 2016, which is hackers from Anonymous Philippines defaced the website from Commission of Election or COMELEC. So what do you mean by deface? So deface meaning is they change the content of the website, and with those hackers they posted the vulnerabilities of the system of COMELEC through the website COMELEC. So that's deface. So their goal is to demand a stronger security for election system and especially voting counting machine. So however, the situation quickly escalated by the another group, which is the LUSEC Philippines or LUSEC Filipinas. So release a massive 338 GB of database containing voters information online, like addresses, name, voters precinct number, then some others for the OFW or overseas voters is their passport is also individual impact of this data breach. So this breach exposed the data to approximately 55 million Filipino voters. So because of this data breach, this is considered the largest data breach in the Philippine history and one of the biggest in worldwide. So the leak data included sensitive personal even biometrics information, which posed to be a risk to individual and can lead to identity theft and privacy violation. So next one, the modus operandi. So next slide. So the modus operandi, so step 1, so the website defense, as I said earlier, attacker exploit weak security controls and gain unauthorized access to the COMELEC website. So by this, hackers allowed them to deface and expose the security weaknesses and vulnerabilities of the COMELEC website. So after this, step 2, data infiltration and leak. After gaining access to the attackers extracted a database and released it publicly online. So with that, experts describe that the breach is freaking huge. So due to the massive amount of leaked data, so investigations also revealed that COMELEC failed to properly secure or encrypt sensitive voter data, making it easier for the attackers to access it and leak it through social media platforms. So next, so now let's move on to the Philippine legal path that's explained by Christian Flores.
Okay, now for the Philippine legal path, this is where we see two things. First is the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, and of course, the Data Privacy Act of 2012. So, may nakikita natin dito kung tatlo, kung saan sila pwedeng mag-report. So, based nga sa sinabi ni Francis dun sa Comileak or yung data breach, importante nating malaman kung ano yung nangyari at saka paano nirespondehan ng government yung ganitong kind of cyber attack. So, of course, let's start dun sa Department of Justice Office of Cybercrime. Dito nakalagay sa DOJ or OOC, responsible sila for prosecuting cybercrime cases under Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 or the RA 10175. So, of course, offenses na ibinigay nila is, of course, illegal access, data interference, and system interference. Doon sa tatlong crime na ginawa nila, of course, punishable yun by imprisonment ranging from 6 to 12 years. After that, kailangan nila magbayad ng 200,000 to 500,000 na nag-i-involve kasi ng government system. Doon naman sa Comileak case, penalties ang kailangan. Kasi yung agency, kung nag-aano ng investigation, kapag na-complete yon, yung role nila, parang mag-aano sila ng tao behind dun sa attack. So, mag-aano yan ng accountability. Dun pa lang, makikita na natin kung ano yung gagawin nila dun sa korte. So, kung yung mga hackers man, nalaman or na-identified, kahit walang DOJ, OOC, walang mangyayaring kaso na formal case. So, of course, under the Cybercrime Prevention Act, kailangan nilang ma-determine kung ano yung appropriate charges and push penalties dito sa ginawang data breach ng COMELEC. So, next, sa Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group, ito naman, yung nagfo-focus sila dun sa impact of the breach of people. Nakalagay dito, ayan, the Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group focuses on the law enforcement and investigation side of cybercrime cases. Sa incidents like COMELEC, yung action can lead to the identification, arrest, and filing of charges against suspect. Investigations ang unang gagawin dyan. So, under the Privacy Act of 2012, importantly, tsaka yung Cybercrime Prevention Act, kailangan nilang i-check kung yung mga proper security measures nandun, kailangan nilang maprotektahan yung individuals nandun din dapat, tsaka yung critical dun sa COMELEC kasi magkukos yun ng mga millions of voters na personal information exposes. Kaya kailangan ma-involve ng PNP, sabi dito sa slide, na ACG, to ensure that cybercriminals are tracked, digital evidence is preserved, and cases are strong enough to proceed the prosecution. So lastly, ang nakalagay dito is NPC or the National Privacy Commission. Kapag titignan natin kasi yung bigger picture ng National Privacy Commission, ang una talagang titignan dyan is data privacy. Dito pa lang, malalaman natin sa National Privacy Commission na ang kailangan nating maprotektahan are the individuals itself. So, cases like dun sa COMELEC, yung personal data ng mga voters doon ay na-expose ng, ilan yun, 336 GB. Kung saan maraming expose ng voters ang kanilang nakuha o nakalap na information involving sensitive data can result the higher penalties and stricter enforcement actions. So, to repeat, Department of Justice Office of Cybercrime, yung PNP, Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group, and lastly, the National Privacy Commission kung saan nag-handle ng mga individuals. So, move on naman tayo sa kung ano yung mangyayari or ano yung nakalap. Una, nakita natin dito, imprisonment and heavy fine. So, dito pa lang, sinabi ko, the National Privacy Commission found COMELEC's negligence leading to administrative and possible criminal liability. Kailangan nilang managot. Since yung COMELEC, hindi nila na-secure yung voters' data na nag-expose ng million personal and biometric records. Yung negligence na yon, nadamay pati yung administrative and criminal liability na nagdepend dun sa circumstances. One circumstances is illegal access. Unauthorized intrusion into computers o yung pagpasok dun sa computer system or our database. Offenders can face yung sabi ko 6 to 12 imprisonment and fines to 200 to 500,000. Next is the data interference. Dito, nag-alter sila, nag-delete, nag-damage sila ng stored information kung saan yung offense na to ay serious kasi nga nag-compromise ng integrity dun sa sensitive data. Number 3 is the system interference. Kung may data interference, meron tayong system interference. Kung doon nag-alter, dito nag-disrupt or nag-impair ng normal operation system, like yung nag-deface sila ng COMELEC website or interfere sila ng voting count systems kung saan nabago o na-adjust. Lastly, of course, the identity theft. Since nakuha na nga nila yung mga personal data ng fraudulent purposes, yung mga COMELEC case, ang mga kasi dyan, ma-expose yung millions of voters na mag-aano sila ng critical condition since makukuha yung mga data including the name, lalo na yung biometrics dun sa kamay. na nagpo-prove na ikaw yung person na yon. So together, itong mga offenses na to, yung path ng legal accountability sa Pilipinas na nag-involve yung PNP, yung DOJ, tsaka yung NPC na mag-correct gawin nilang gampanan yung correct measures and negligence ng isang organization. So, of course, mitigation plan. Ang naisip namin dito is tatlo. Una, multi-factor authentication or the MFA. Normal na yan kahit sa social media. Meron laging double extra login verification layers. Kahit nga sa cellphone may mga OTP na para ma-prevent yung unauthorized admin system access. Since ikaw, voter, pwede mong ma-access. Wala namang kasing merong MFA based dun sa research na inano naming news. Walang sinabing double authorization access. Literal na diretsong access dun sa data breach ng system. Kaya agad na-hack. So next is the regular security patching and vulnerability testing. Dito pa lang makikita na natin yung mga different vulnerability since dito nga nag-e-explain na kailangan nating i-test and i-patch yung mga butas ng isang system like voter system. So, nakalagay dito, fixed system weakness including the SQL injection risk and conduct penetration testing. Sakaling mabutas man or mapasok yung data, ano yung posible nating gawin pa? And lastly, yung data encryption and segmentation. Ito yung pinaka-importante. Since yung data encryption, kailangan nating encrypt yung mga personal data natin since ang dami nating nagvo-vote sa isang bansa tulad ng Pilipinas. Ang nakaano nga is 336 GB. Kakailangan natin ng encryption especially sa biometrics. Since importante itong itong thumbs, ito kasi nagpapatunay na tayo yung nag-vote dun sa isang voter's identification. And lastly, the separate database to limit breach impact.
Now, for the last part of this presentation, let's we proceed to the conclusion. So, based dun sa nangyari sa Comelec data breach, we conclude that Comelec incident is a big highlight of the importance of how strongly cybersecurity, especially in government system. So it serves as the reminder that protecting personal data, not just technical responsibility, but also legal ethical obligation. Since alam naman natin ngayon na sa panahon ngayon, data or information naka-value na ng gold or mas valuable pa siya kaysa sa gold. So, thank you for listening. So that concludes our presentation for today. Thank you, sir.